Following is a conversation with Swarnajeet Mukherjee. He is an entrepreneur and also known as Dr. Sales. He is a co founder of a consulting company. Let's focus on the valuable insight despite the audio imperfections. This is the Vaibhav podcast.
The recording.
What is happening?
See, the secret of sales doesn't want to go out. See, this is the thing. I told you why I'm not publishing that book, right? And I know you're trying to get the information out here, but these are very critical information. It will change people's thinking process, okay? Even though this is getting recorded, you can take this. But
Now recording start.
sales is actually a very lethal weapon, you can say. In the wrong hands, it's dangerous.
How?
And you have to be, because people manipulate. That's why. People only manipulate. Sales, most of the time in today's world, is a game of manipulation. You see advertising, you think they're showing you the product. It's manipulative advertising. We call it neuromarketing. It plays with your mind. The things they show, the sound you hear, the color, the design. People like us design it for them. That makes it bad. I stopped doing it. But there are multiple people with this knowledge who are doing it still, right? So it messes you up.
So
You think you are making the decision, but
yeah, but yeah, you're being forced to make the decision.
you're far from even realizing that you're forced.
Yeah. So if that's the case, then everything around us is just manipulation. That's not sales.
Yes, I can guarantee you 99% of the decisions you're making in today's, including this podcast, is not because you decided. You're influenced.
At some case, I think that's true. So we are
Those are
forced by
cases, there is a bad marketing. That's the reason you realize it's true. Otherwise, you did not realize. You would not have the trace of it.
yeah. Yeah. We have seen so many companies doing this manipulations. Especially some of the edtechs company. I don't want to take the name. They play with the parents' emotion, and education is one of the thing in India that parents are really
Yes.
insecure about, and they go and they play with the emotions of the parents, and they sell the products the parents that
Yes.
don't need. Right?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. The audience is also know that what I'm talking about which company. I'm the victim of it. I know.
Right.
I've seen a lot of people in my school who were the victim of them.
See, now, the thing is exactly that's my point. Now, would you ever go back to those people for any product or services once you're burned out?
No.
As simple as that. Now, imagine they would have actually fed your demand, genuinely gave you what you exactly needed. You
But
would have considered going back to them. But if there is nothing that you needed out of them, then they shouldn't have, sold in the first place. I think I will share this with the audience. It's not recorded, I'm sure. Or maybe you can take it from our first recording. Like, you asked me to sell a pen initially,
yeah.
right? And what did I answer you with? Like, why do you want this pen?
Yeah.
Usually people fall for the trap of like, sell me this pen, and I'm going to talk about, oh, this pen is good, this pen is smooth writing, this pen has, the ink never goes away, it's waterproof, it's blah, blah, blah. This is bullshit. The first question is, why do you want me to sell you this pen? Why do you need this pen? You said you want to write. It's like, okay, if you want to write, give me $5, the pen is yours. He said, why would I buy this pen? I already have one. Then what was my answer? So if you already have one, why the hell would you want me to sell you this pen?
Yeah. That was exactly the same thing happened.
Right? So that's not selling. I know this is in the Wolf of Wall Street and all of these. Sell this
Yeah.
pen. And like, you need this pen? I'll give you one. If you don't need, don't waste my time.
Nah, there was in the scene that his friend created the need for the pen, right? But if you already have the pen, then you don't have the need. Yeah.
Exactly.
So there are a lot of people on the internet, right, who says that if they don't need it, make the need. Force them to make the need, or make them realize that they have to buy this stuff, or otherwise their lives are not fulfilling, or their lives are being or making some kind of FOMO, right? What do you think about it? And how can someone be like
I
smart them?
I think it's kind of an emotional crime that you're manipulating people, right? If let's say, for example, you wear this nice white T-shirt you're wearing right now, white and blue, and I want to sell you my stuff. I'm gonna tell you, listen, Nitesh, you could do so much better with the right clothing. Like, I don't know why you're choosing such kind of clothing. Like, who told you this stuff? I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying, you know, who told you to wear this stuff? And you're like,
Mm.
and you'll be guessing with my face expression that that's not a good vibe that is
Yeah.
going on there. So you'll be like, what do you mean? I'm like, listen, you should go to this outlet. They have amazing stuff there. I mean, you will walk out, you look like a stud. I guarantee you, go and try it out. Your mind will be like, I want to fucking look like a stud. Damn it. Oh, so share me the location. I will check it out later on. Like, your mind will be craving to get some outlet from there because your insecurity is now triggered. Now, I created a need for you, even though you already are wearing a nice t-shirt. It looks good on you, and you don't maybe have a need right now, but I created a need for you, right? By making you feel insecure about what you're wearing. That's called
Mm.
manipulation. And being a life and a business coach, I care for people genuinely. And under no circumstances I would ever advise or teach people. When I train people in sales, I never train people to manipulate. I teach them how to find that demand, how to connect, how to understand their customers. And with my techniques, people have grown 300, 400% documented. I'm talking about corporations, not just one entrepreneur growing, making $1 million. Okay. This is documented proof of corporations we're talking about without manipulation,
But
without,
but
yes.
you do realize that there are some companies like who give some so many pressure to the salesperson that they have to use this stuff. They have to use the manipulation, otherwise they will get fired.
No, not necessary. See, the thing is, again, it's a choice you're making. It's a choice you're making. For example, do you know the story of Oprah Winfrey?
No, which I do know her, but I don't know the story.
I'll share with the audience. Maybe they know, they don't know. If they don't know, it might come as an enlightening thing for them. Oprah Winfrey, she was born. When she was born, she was pre-born in the sense she was born before time,
Yeah,
and
premature.
she had a mother who was 16 years old,
Oh.
and when she was born, she was abandoned. When she was abandoned, she was raped, manipulated mentally, emotionally by her own people. Even the child care home services that they were having, they kept her because they did not have a space and they didn't want her to die outside. So the system was overbooked, but she was still taken in, adjusting an extra bed somewhere so that this life doesn't die. The moment somebody comes in and claims that she's my kid, she was given away. And this person abused her, tormented her. She could have chosen to become a victim.
Yeah.
And she's an African American. In those times in US, there was no equality, no gender stuff, no,
Yeah.
opportunity. When you are coming from that background, you are generalized as you're gonna be a slave, right? And from that environment, she fought against all odds and she chose to be an inspiration. She could have become a victim. She could have gone in the wrong path. She could have made some wrong choices. She could have killed the people who had
Yeah.
tormented her. But she chose to see and work on the other side of things. It's the perspective. So when a person tells me that, oh, like, if the manager is giving them ultimatum and they're not selling, that means that salesperson is not a good salesperson. If he doesn't have any other option than manipulation, then that person is not worthy of a called a good salesperson. Because sales again is not manipulation. It's feeding the demand with the right supply. That's all sales is. That's how simple it is. But if you are not understanding that, it's a terrible tragedy.
It is simple, but the world is making it too complicated, right? How to handle rejection in sales and how to take it positively, or because we have seen if you're selling something and you have been rejected, then there's a lot of negative thoughts coming in and you're like, okay, I'm not worthy of it and I just need to quit it. What would you advise to the someone who is starting the sales and who is who is getting rejected every time? What would you advise to them?
Can I take this question a little back? In the sense, see, the rejection, understanding of the rejection process starts from your childhood. So I would request all the parents, all the teachers to stop teaching rejection to the kids. The rejection is a process that you learn when you want to make friends with some kids and they don't want to be your friends. That's when you start to understanding rejection. When you raise your hand in front of a teacher and the teacher says, just keep your hands down, or just ignores you and gives the other kid a chance to speak. So they unconsciously start learning rejection. Okay. So these are the most dangerous ways of teaching a kid rejection. Now, when they grow up, you cannot expect them to all of a sudden forget their initial training years in school, in kindergarten, what they have learned. Rejection every time. Oh, you didn't score well? Not a good kid. Oh, you didn't listen or do my homework? You're a bad kid. So we're getting rejected over and over and over again. Make sense? So that's what the problem is. So I would always say, if we can stop that from happening at the initial stage, the problem will cease to exist of rejection. Now, how to deal with people who have already learned rejection, right? We can't undo them, but they have learned rejection. So now they need psychological guidance, counseling, training to make sure that the impact of rejection is not personalized. Not all people take it personally.
Yeah.
So if somebody says no to you, you think, oh, how did they say no to me? Me? Am I bad or am I not that good or are you blind? So it doesn't have to go that extreme. No means simply that they don't need that thing right now. Everybody needs something or the other in the right time. Maybe not the right time for them. That's all it is. Like, for example, when you have seen this, if you are a real estate agent or a call center person, you're calling these people saying, sir, we are having this project, we are coming up with, I'm not interested. Oh, okay. They're so sad, as if their life is lost, right? But the reality is this, that same person, maybe 2 years down the line, will go and invest in a home and take a 20-year of bank loan to live in
Yeah.
that house. But maybe at that point of time, when you call this person, he was not ready. Maybe you just entered his job, or he just got his job, or maybe he has a job, but he was going through a family crisis. So he's not going to share that with you. Hey, listen, stranger, somebody in the family is sick. We are spending a lot of money in the hospital. Nobody's going to share this information, right? So what they will say? Not interested. No. Stop bothering me. Don't disturb me. Never call me. I'll block you. I'll call the cops on you. And the person on the other side is like, oh my God, why am I doing this job? I can't take this nonsense. Right? So people are getting in the painful mode without realizing that sales is not something that they should take personally.
Yeah, I think rejection is a part, right? You can't avoid it, but you can learn from it,
Absolutely.
right? Whenever there is a case like I want to approach someone or I want to talk to someone, there are things my brain is telling to me like, I think they're busy. You shouldn't go to them. You don't look good right now. You shouldn't go to them. That's just your brain is stopping you from going there. You should go. If they're rejecting you, it's okay. Somebody is rejecting you. Somebody will accept you. That's a thing. That's a process. There's like if somebody rejects you, there is no point in getting like your confidence down or thinking like, okay, I'm not good or something. There's no point in that, right?
True.
It's better to go out and try approaching 100 people. Maybe 20 will have a conversation with you, but 80 will reject you, right?
See, again, I won't recommend that. If you go and approach randomly 100 people, there's a high chance you may get rejected 90 times or 99 times.
Yeah.
Right? Strategically approaching people is the key. So, if you really want your rejection rates to go down, the first and the foremost thing is you need to be in the right environment and approaching the right people and not burn the bridges. So, if you are, let's say, for example, you're looking for people to interview in a podcast, right? So you may look out for people who are already in the space of creating content, creating
Yeah.
value, who are there, who are doing stuff already. That makes your life easier because you know they take out time for this kind of stuff. And if you go to a person who has never come on TV, who doesn't create content, at least not with their face at least, right? And all of a sudden, if you try to interview them, out of 20, maybe 19 would reject that. And one might say, I will think about it, right? Because, see, the rejection rate, yes, you are learning from it, but what you are learning from it? You're reaching out to the wrong people.
Yeah.
So, like, instead of reaching out to the wrong people, the first thing is make sure you're reaching out to the right people. I'm not saying if you reach out to the right people, your conversion rate will become 100%, but still, it can
There are
go
right.
beyond 50%.
Mm. Yeah.
That is a huge number. Out of 10 people, 5 might say yes to you, right? And people will think, oh my God, you're the greatest salesperson on earth because you're 50% closing. I'm like, I'm just smart enough to find the right people, right? That's all it is.
So, what would you suggest someone who's struggling from this, like getting rejected, and somebody is struggling with this? What would you advise them? Like, you should do this stuff, you should do this, and all.
See, I will, before even we come to the part of rejection, honestly, Nitesh, I would say every salesperson should regularly train themselves. I don't care whether the company is sponsoring them or not. Doesn't matter. If they're not training, it's a ruthless world. I can assure you they won't survive for long. People who have been in successful in sales,
Yeah.
they are covertly or stealth way they are training themselves all the time. I will not believe if everybody comes here. I've never trained, but I'm so good in sales. Sales is like mathematics. You can have your concepts clear, but if you don't practice it daily, you're screwed in
Yeah.
the exam.
Definitely.
That's the exact example of sales. It's just like mathematics. You can know how to sell. If you don't have a practice, you're done.
So, many people think of sales are just closing deals, but what does the entire sales process really look like?
I will tell you something. It is closing deals, but not the way they show in the media.
Yeah.
I have clients who we interacted and they never closed, came back to me after 3 years and they closed without a follow up, without a single message, without making them insecure, without anything. Sales is basically building relationships. When you build relationships genuinely, people remember that. So when they are in genuine need, they will come to you first before they go anywhere else. So even if I work with somebody, if I'm talking to somebody, I make sure that they leave this call with so much value that even if they don't decide to work with me, if they're not interested, still work with me, they have enough value to sustain themselves to at least to some extent. And when that is done, they will improve in their life. And if they do remember why they improved, they might be sending a thanks. Might be. I'm not even expecting that, right? And sometimes people do send thanks. And sometimes when they see that how much value I've created for them when they have not paid, they say like, if I get so much for free, then how much would I get when I pay you, right? So again, that works. So sales is basically again helping people with the right solution and finding the right demand. So find the people with the right demand and provide them the solution that you're having with you. That's it. That's the basic part of sales.
And I think that's a basic part of any startup too, right? You find the thing society wants before even knowing they want that, and then you create it and then you
Exactly.
scale it.
Exactly. So you don't create a need, but you find that void that exists
Yeah,
and you start producing a solution for it. And then you can make people aware, listen, you did have this problem. I have the solution for this. But most people think that shoving it down the throat of the customer is sales. There's a reason people hate salespeople.
yeah. Especially in India, I think.
Everywhere. It's everywhere. Salespeople are, blacklisted everywhere because people think they are monsters. They are just harassing people, and and that's why these trainers are trying to teach them that it's okay to be, do this. Like you have to be an animal. You have to do this. You have to do that. So that they think that becoming an animal is forgetting their emotions. But
Mm,
animals also hunt in emotion.
yeah,
They do just hunt logically. Oh, let me hunt this deer. This deer looks juicy. No. If they are hungry, they are starving. They hunt. Otherwise, they don't. Exactly that's how it sales is. Demand and supply.
demand and supply. So you don't create
No,
the demand, you find the demand, you find the void.
nobody. Yes, Nitesh, nobody talks about demand and supply anymore in today's sales world. They've forgotten these terms. These terminologies have vanished from sales world. Everything they will say follow-ups, closing, calls, practice, role play. What the hell happened to demand and supply? Which is the foundation of any sales.
So what are the skills that differentiate a good salesperson from a great one, especially in today's digital and competitive marketplace?
A great salesperson always has a terrific, amazing relationship with every single person he has sold to. And most of his clients or her clients keep coming back
Because they provide a good value or good return.
every time, every single time.
So what role does emotional intelligence play in sales?
EQ is everything. You are selling it to people. People are emotional beings. So, whenever you are dealing with people, you have to understand that without emotions, you can't make them understand. Logic works on emotions for buying decisions. Okay.
Mm,
Nobody buys logically, everybody buys out of an emotion, whether it's food, whether it's clothing, whether it's shoes, no matter what. Buying happens with emotion. You feel the need, you like it something, you like the color, like the design, like the fabric, you like the brand ambassador of that product, and then the next thing you want to be like, I want to be a part of this. Even if sometimes you don't need, you end up buying.
uh, in iPhones, right?
That's how it
Pe-
is. That's why the brand sometimes hire these influencers, right? The big ones, like for example, if Virat Kohli is using something, or if any other, like Amitabh Bachchan is using something, or you know, so you want to feel their feel. So you want to resemble them. You want to reflect them. So you
yeah,
buy what they are using, even though they are not actually using that brand, but still you feel that.
yeah.
That's how the
Obviously,
advertising works.
yeah. Obviously, they're not using that stuff, but you believe that they are using that stuff, so it's okay to use that stuff, and though you
Exactly.
ended up buying it, even though you don't need it. Obviously, or like obviously, a person who's earning like 40-50K doesn't need an iPhone, right? So, but you will still see people have that kind of expensive phones.
Oh
just to
my God.
match.
This is, I mean, see, I have seen people queuing up in US for iPhone launches and stuff. I've witnessed that physically. I'm like, I initially didn't realize it was a queue for iPhone. And honestly, what is people standing for? Like, is there something going on, or there's some celebrity coming in? Like, and then my friend told me, like, no, this is a queue for iPhone, man, and they're standing from last night. I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, like, yeah, these are standing from last night. They're queued up from last night so they don't miss out because they have limited, inventory. I'm like, why can't they buy that like later on from like Amazon or from other like online Apple store? Like,
Yeah.
no, no, they want it on the first day. I'm like, wow, right?
But you know one interesting thing that I have seen people who are queuing for the buying the iPhone. When they buy it on the first day, they are reselling it. So they are making money of it.
Some people, yes, who are
Yeah.
buying it for business purposes, like, yeah, it's out of stock now. I only have these, right? So that's again manipulation,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm
Somebody
trying to say,
buying,
right? That's a manipulation, right?
right?
But they are like same with the tickets, like the Coldplay announced that they're coming to India. People buy it.
Exactly.
I'm seeing like people are buying tickets worth of 3,000 rupees to 3 lakh rupees. Like what?
Literally, and the hotel prices has gone up from 15,000, the 5 stars, 15,000 per night to like 60, 70,000 per night. Like, it's a joke, all right. And middle class, like, they are like that's much their entire month's income,
Yeah,
okay, and still they can't afford it.
I think it's all about the hype, right? We see India versus Pakistan, the hype, right? We
Emotion.
know the tickets, what they go in black, right? Like,
Oh, crazy! People are doing gambling on those things, and everything is going on. It's emotion. See, that's what emotion is. Everything
uh,
is emotion. What is stock market? Man,
emotion. Yeah,
completely emotion.
agree.
It has nothing to do with any news that is coming in. It's how the market is reacting. It means people are reacting.
So there is a big manipulation then because people do that, right? Sometimes there is some inside news and media does show that okay, this is the case, so the market reacts to it. So
And
there
it
is
is mostly sponsored by the opponent parties and stuff.
obviously.
So it's that game continuously going on, and then all of a sudden that person, the company's chairman, comes in and talks about how positive their approach is, how much profit
Yeah,
they're making, right? So, but ultimately they're trying to get a good impression. Like, listen, don't lose faith. We are doing good,
yeah, yeah, being ethical, you know.
and people are like,
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm selling your shares. I'm done, right? So that's how it goes.
So you do work with companies. Have you ever seen some companies who does some unethical, but and you go out and tell, yeah, you have to stop doing this. You have to go to the standard method of like demand and sale.
Honestly, people who work with me, they know very much my work ethic, so they know that I will not accept that in the first place. So either they, if they are doing manipulative things, they would want me to change it for them, or else they will not even reach out to me because they know that this guy's gonna, because I believe that even when you do things ethically, you can still make billions. I'm
That
not
was a
talking about hundreds of thousands. You can make in billions. So why you have to be just a Vijay Mallya? You can still do things in the right way, right? So that's how it works.
yeah. That's what I was gonna ask. Like, do you think that uh being in sales with being ethical is gonna make you rich in today's world? Do you think that is possible?
100%, 100%, 100%. You have to stick to it. The problem is when people see a manipulative person making money, they think, oh, so this is the way to make money. Everybody can make money. You just need to have the brain for it. Somebody's manipulating for the money. You can still make money through ethical means and still make a lot of money.
So this is all a game of a patience, right? Because
Game of patience, a game of the right strategy.
yeah,
Because you can be patient, and if you have the wrong strategy, you can wait for the rest of your life and you still not get anything. So we don't want to be patient in the wrong place, in the wrong time, with the wrong product. Then you will just go bankrupt with patience. Right? You're just waiting for the bankruptcy. But the patience, if it's strategic, 100% it will give you the results. 100%.
yeah, because if you're being ethical, and I think that one time you sell the clients, they are coming back to you as you say, right? the great ones, their clients does come back.
Always,
Uh,
always. See, people remember people who are creating value for them. It's a two-way street. You cheated one way, once you will make money. Then you have to find a new scapegoat to
that's
take
why,
your scam,
yeah,
right?
that's why that ed tech company is now bankrupt, right?
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
you know what I'm
Exactly.
talking about, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And that, like, see, and putting the kids, and even the kids know that they don't need this stuff,
Yeah,
but because their parents are pushing them for it, they're forced to use it sometimes, right? So that doesn't leave a good impression either on the kid, nor on the parents, because parents think I wasted so much money for you and you didn't use it. And the kid would be like, did I ask you to? But then they can't ask that to their parents, can they? Right? They'll get a slap on their face. Right? So like, you do this to me? Like I'm spending money for you and you're going to ask this to me? I'm spending money, right? So that doesn't work. So you cannot argue with your parents. And if the parents are being fooled by these marketing companies, then, the victim becomes the kids.
yeah, because they know the product is not good and they have the pressure to perform.
Yeah,
They're not able to do that.
exactly. And then if they get bad results, then again the kid is dumb.
Yeah,
He's not studying.
yeah, yeah.
He's procrastinating, and then everything falls on the kid.
Because the company is not going to take the blame, right?
Never.
They say that you have the mentorship program, you'll get someone who's going to help you, but that never happens.
They will come for one day mentorship. They will tell the parents, listen, if you don't take care, we can't help. And they will put it on the parents. And the parents will be like, oh, with my job, I can I do this? And with my this commitment, how can I do this? And now parents are mind screwed on this, right? They're like, okay, now I have to do my job and also mentor my kid. And see, the thing is, most parents, unfortunately, in today's world, they can't mentor their kids
Yeah,
because of it's very unfortunate. But
yeah, yeah, I know.
they are the best mentors possible. The problem is they're so busy with their own professional life, they are not having enough time to mentor their own kids. So they need coaching classes. And when they go to coaching classes, what they're learning? Absolutely nonsense. Absolute nonsense. It's a waste of money, waste of time, and waste of talent. People who are scoring really high, they will score high regardless of coaching.
Yeah.
The coaching class takes the credit away from the kid. Oh, we trained them, that's why he or she scored so well.
Yeah, we know that too, right? See, every time a J results come or NEET result
Exactly.
come, the same rank one holder has studied from
You
all
will
the
see a huge billboard with the faces of those kids, right?
getting
And the name
paid,
of the class.
a lot of money for that stuff. Oh my god, that's a bad thing, right? That's not a good strategy for the sales.
And how many pictures do you see in that board? Three. And how many students do you think they do intake? More than 150, 200. Each batch we're
Yeah,
talking about. So
yeah,
they have more than
and
1,000 students learning IIT JEE. Out of that, three are coming on top, and the rest either they're failing or they are nowhere around. They're not going to tell the truth about those people.
and you will see the same students in every poster of the every coaching. Same students. Everybody's
That's
all India rank one. Every rank holder has studied from their institute only.
exactly. So you understand that's emotional coaching. Every parent will look at it and think like, oh, I want my kid to be here. So you go to this coaching, okay?
Parents confuse them because they see every coaching has the same results. So how would they decide? Like
See, parents are honestly overburdened in today's world.
because of the
Overburdened.
competition.
Not just that, they have their job to take care of, okay? Then they have their family to take care of. Then they have their kids to take care of. Then the expenses of the kids, right? And then, of course, because of their job, their all this business, their relationship is falling apart. They have to take care of the relationship too.
Yeah.
Then some fight is going on in their family, in their in-laws or extended family with the brother, sister, whatever. So all of these things are going on. When would a parent consciously, calmly think, what is good for me?
Hmm.
They don't have time for that thought process. So if somebody comes and like, listen, this is very good for your kid, you should take this, you should take this. They're like, all right, okay, how much money? Oh, this, I have a credit card.
Yeah. I can
That's
name
all
them.
it is, right?
Yeah. And they
That's it.
have the EMI options. Yeah.
They are my options, right? So now you're screwed.
Definitely.
So that's the problem.
So how would a coaching survive in this competition, right? Because they are seeing suppose there is one coaching who wants to make a good impression, wants to use a good strategy for the sales, but they see that every other their competition are using this unethical practices. So how
Right.
would that coaching survive by being ethical?
But with ethical, you do things properly. For example, if you're genuinely training the kids, right? Showcase your A-listers, showcase your B-listers, showcase your C-listers. And when parents come in, don't just tell them everything's going to be all right. Tell them there are high chances most people don't score anything, don't get through. But with our coaching services, we will do our best to make sure we push your kids to this limit.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
truths.
Yeah,
The
this is.
truths are. But the thing is this: the problem is if the coaching center does this, if they do this with the parents like, oh, they are only not confident enough, huh? We should go to some people who are very confident about themselves. I'm like, they were telling the
Yeah.
truth at least, and they were lying. If somebody's telling you that we guarantee success, they don't give it to you in writing; they just say verbally. Saying is not criminal, right? They cannot be sued for that. But if they give something in writing, they can be sued for that. So they don't give you in writing. They will tell you, they give you a disclaimer. All of these things, if you don't study properly, it's all on you. The coaching center does not take any responsibility. That's a disclaimer you sign on it, terms and conditions.
I mean,
Okay.
nobody reads that.
Exactly. But when you speak, they say, we are there for you, we're there for you, we take full responsibility. But when you're signing off, you're saying, I will never blame the coaching center for the results or outcome of my kids' results. You're giving that to you in writing to them. And then you expect that, oh, if they don't fall through, I'm going to sue them. Then you just sign on the paper that you can't. What are you going to do with that? Right. So that's how things work. Okay. So it's the mindset that a parent has developed. Like, oh, if the coaching center is not very confident about themselves, why the hell should I put my kid there? They're only telling that they will not get through. I want a coaching center. They will say like, yes, everybody will get through. Even though truth we know, we can see the ranks. People are scoring 1 lakh rank like in exams. Like they're nowhere to be found. But still, every parent wants like my kid should be in the top three out of 140
Yeah.
crore people.
I feel in India, the people or the society has made failure look really bad. That could be the reason for all of this. Because you see
No,
the competition.
it's not the parents' society. Also, I will tell you something. The problem is how the marketing is done. I
Yeah.
will give you an example of bank. You know why there is a belief in middle class that people should have a house. This is ingrained, right?
I saw your reel. Yeah. Go on. Yeah.
So that's the thing, though. So people have this innate belief that you need to have an asset, a
Yeah.
house for yourself, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That ingrained belief. Where did that come from? They think, oh, my parents believe it. Why? Because the bank created this. This is called fake need. They brainwashed you into believing that if you don't have a house, you don't have anything. Have your own house. Get a loan with us for 20 years. We'll suck the life out of you happily. Right? If you can't pay, no worries. Your kids can still pay. We'll keep
Yeah.
money from your kids too. Don't worry about it. Right?
Uh,
That's why I'm giving you 20 years. You buy the house for 1.5 CR, but we're going to take 3 CR from you. That's all it is.
yeah. In 20 years, the 1 crore amount is going to be the 3 crores. Yeah. Damn.
And then people say, oh, but I have an asset. No, really, is there an asset? What is the
That's a
real
lie,
asset?
right? That's a lie they're telling to themselves.
Asset is something that is generating money.
Yeah.
Asset in accounting terms. That's all it is. Right? Is the house generating money to you? No, but I'm saving money. How? Oh, I could spend in rent. You could have spent less in rent and rented your house out for let's say 35,000 and got into a 1 BHK and moved in there and spent 15,000 on rent. So you make the remaining as a profit for you. But no, if you're living in an asset, so-called asset, that's not an asset, it's a liability because you can't move out of the house, right? So the valuation of your house increasing doesn't matter. If your house becomes 5 crores tomorrow, it's not going to help anyway because you can't move. You have nested there.
Yeah. The emotions that are attached here to that place.
Yes, you're screwed. You will wait until the building goes into redevelopment.
Yeah. I have seen people taking a lot of loans and making their house, building their house, and they're struggling to pay for it. But the one
Taking
thing constantly
taking
they
loan is
say,
not a
say to
problem.
themselves are that at least
Yes,
we have our own house. The exact thing you
have
said,
own
right?
house, right?
Yeah.
Right. The thing is, taking loan is not a problem if you have enough cash flow.
Yeah.
But people take loan without the cash flow.
Hmm.
That's the problem.
That is a neat credit of a bank. You said it right. I realized it some months ago when I was thinking about all of this stuff. I was like, why everybody's buying houses?
Same thing for diamonds. Your reel is gonna be blacklisted. Okay, I'm sure about this. This company is gonna
Yeah.
blacklist your reels.
Okay. Okay. About that.
You have a diamond issue, right? The diamond is actually a very cheap stone. Very cheap stone. There is a diamond mafia. I will not name that company. It's a diamond mafia, and they control 90% of the diamond supply in the world. They have tons of diamonds lying in their warehouses. Tons. They create artificial scarcity and they sell
Huh.
it to you for that price. That's why you will see when you buy a diamond, there is no resale value of it. Go resell a diamond.
Really?
I challenge you. Challenge you. Anybody who's watching this, if you have a diamond, if you bought a solitaire for whatever price you have bought it, try getting even 20% of that price.
What about gold?
Gold, yes, possible, depending on where you buy it from. For example, if you buy it from brands like Tanishq, they give you a guarantee that whatever is the market price, they will buy it from you. Nowadays, a lot of brands are doing so. Okay, you can beep that out because it should not look like a brand promotion here. But the point is, there are a lot of brands doing so that they are offering this that if you buy from us, if you ever come to resell the gold, we will buy it at a market price from you. We'll buy it back entirely, whatever the amount of gold is there, and we're telling you we are putting in this much of gold. So if you come back to us, we'll take back that much of gold at the market price, right? So if you have that guarantee, it's good. Otherwise, there's no guarantee because you mix a lot of stuff in today's world, alloy, copper, this, that, for the color, texture of the gold. You mix things
Makes
up,
sense.
right? Unless it's a brick, it's a mix of a lot of stuff, especially jewelries and stuff. So it's very risky to deal with gold like that unless you are having trusted people who you know they will not cheat you on that aspect very deeply. But when it comes to money, it's hardly anybody you can trust.
You know, you said owning a property about this stuff. I read an article about the Telegram CEO. He says he doesn't own anything, no properties. He said if you own something, then you are objected there. You are, connected there. And if you don't and you own anything, you're just wondering. I think that's a good thing.
See, I think that's a see. Owning is not a problem. Again, I want to make sure that viewers are very clear about this. I'm not
Yeah,
against buying. What it means is, if you have extra money,
yeah.
please do buy. But don't buy in bank loan installments. See, people tell me, what, when I advise this to my clients, they say, but we save in taxes. I'm like, how much?
Yeah.
For that peanut amount to save in tax, you're paying twice the amount of loan. But I'm paying in 20 years. Like, why the hell are you going to pay that much of amount? Even in 20 years, even imagine if you invest that money in the right kind of mutual fund, stocks,
Like
whatever.
SIPs, yeah.
God, like that can become, that itself money in 20 years can become, if you put in 1.5 CR, that can become 20, 30 CR we're talking about.
So yeah, instead of buying a house for the and paying the EMI for the 20 years, you could live in a rent house, a cheap house, do the SIP or any mutual investment for the 20 years, then you can buy
Yes.
a house with your own money,
Right.
right? And you
Yes.
don't have to worry about anything else. You can buy
Exactly.
a
When you have
house,
extra,
double the value.
double
If
the
you-
value, and
yeah.
you can pay upfront in cash, and you can have that thing done when you have enough money. Do that. Definitely buy a house. But people are buying house when they don't have the money.
Yeah, when they're struggling in their life, they're buying the house at that time. And one thing someone told me, my friend, that people back in the 90s and 80s used to buy houses at the age of 24 or 25, and now people they are unemployed at age of the 30. I think,
Exactly.
yeah, and there's a pressure of buying a house when you reach above 25 and all of this stuff. That doesn't make sense right now,
No,
but
no, because see, the thing is again that it's pressurized. For example, they will say if you don't have a house, nobody will give you their girl. What, you bring them
yeah.
to a rental house? Like that looks so bad, this and that. So, and people don't understand this aspect that for them it's okay that if their if their daughter's husband is having a 20 years of bank loan and has a nice house, than them being rich and they can take care of their daughter currently and not
Yeah.
suffer. They don't understand this aspect of accounts, right? So they just believe, oh, they have a house, so at least my daughter will never be homeless. Like, if
What,
they can't pay the EMI, they would be.
why do you think that is the reason? Because of the less financial knowledge?
Less financial knowledge, and again, the brainwashing done by banks.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're going to call me tomorrow
And
after
I think
hearing
that's the
this.
reason why the home loans are very cheap instead of education loans.
Of course, of course, because the illusion is for like short period of time, right? They can't they can't drain you. But home is
Yeah.
something that they can. You're nested now. You're screwed. See, imagine you call it your own home, but the papers of the house is with the bank. How is that your own home?
Yeah.
Hello, wake up call, right? Like you want to buy a house,
Yeah.
pay the money, and the papers are with the bank,
Yeah. Wow.
right? And you call it your own home.
Yeah, that's so. So, how is technology shaping the future of sales?
It is not. It is the people using the technology shaping the future. Technology by itself is not shaping the future. The way technology is used by people is shaping the future of sales. A lot of people are using it for scamming too, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Right? But if we look at the aspects, again, these AIs are actually helping them to understand the customer better.
Yeah.
What I've been teaching these people for last 14 years, now AI is doing it for them because they're
Yeah.
still not enough interested people to understand and invest in customers. AI is not doing anything else. They just read the customers better and provide the right information the customer is looking for. They have this kind of integration done. I know the softwares, I will not name them. They provide that kind of integration. So they study the customers, they understand their profiling, they understand their income system, and then provide you with the right kind of solution that you can sell it to them. But with that process, again, you are only trying to understand your customers. If you don't understand your customers, you're not going to do well, whether it's with AI or without AI. Understanding your customer has always been the key and will always be the key. Yes, with AI, things can become a little seamless, can get automated. Like, you have this chatbots and all those things that gives you automated responses. These things are doable. It reduces a lot of labor work,
Yeah.
right? But I won't say it has shortened the process. It has made it seamless, but it has not. It's not a shortcut. AI is not a shortcut. Tools, techniques, technologies are not shortcuts. They have just made it better. The
And
selling
easier.
process better, right? So more efficient. Customers have more options, more specific details, and with less human errors.
And I think you can't fool the customers too because they also know how to use the technology and they can have the information at that fraction of a second when you say something, right?
And absolutely, but the thing is, the problem is if you are trying to sell at that point. But the problem is everything in the social media world right now is sales.
Yeah.
So even if you're viewing something, you are actually selling,
Oh,
right?
okay. Yeah.
So what happens is you are, increasing the viewership of that person or whatever, and they are making money out of it. So
They are actually. Yeah. So how
with
can
you just
someone?
views, even if you're not engaging with it,
So how can someone leverage the technology for their sales strategy?
you have to adapt. You have to adapt to the technologies. A lot of brands, see, for example, even a super brand like Cristiano Ronaldo entered YouTube. Did he
Yeah.
need to? Did he
No.
need to? No.
No. Never.
He already has so much money, so much endorsement. He's making millions, hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
every
He's a
year.
billionaire already, right?
Right. Now he's making money from YouTube too. Like within 3 days, he has like 70 million subscribers.
Yeah.
Like like
Broken
you
every
know,
record. Yeah.
broken every single record. Like even Mr. Beast, who was the top-notch YouTuber, who has 100 million over subscribers,
Yeah.
even he was like, initial days are hard, nobody will listen to you. And this guy comes in and like, boom, it's an explosion happening on internet, right? So this guy is like sweeping all the world. My point to you is you have to adapt. Why he's doing that? He's adapting to the technology. He's adapting to the current trend. That's the reason. Because why not? You see, he doesn't need that. But that's going to still get him extra exposure and a lot more money. So why the hell not?
Yeah, because he has his own brands, right, of perfumes and all, and underwears and all.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, everything.
he has
Right.
built a good leverage. He already has the reputation. He started a YouTube channel. Now
So you
people
have to
will know him more.
adapt. They have to basically adapt. All the brands should do this because a lot of brands are still orthodox in their approach. They're like, we are not into Instagram and social media. We don't have our clients there. The thing is, there if they don't have their clients there, then they are following the footstep of Kodak and Nokia. Okay,
Yeah, we know
because
how.
no matter how much innovative you are, you're gonna become extinct if you don't adapt fast
I
enough.
think you can learn that lesson from the Nokia. Yeah, they had the best phone, best
Oh my
technology. Yeah,
god, yes. What happened to BlackBerry? Oh my
yeah,
god.
BlackBerry phones. Yeah, I
Did we
think that was the
test?
first phone that was launched in India.
I loved BlackBerry texts, but then it disappeared eventually. Right? So again, if you don't adapt, you're done. So it's not just with corporates; it's also with entrepreneurs. The problem is how much should you adapt?
Yeah,
That's the key. If you adapt too much, you might lose your brand integrity. If you don't adapt at all, your brand might die.
there is an image of like negative marketing is the best marketing.
Kind of depends on what brand you're talking about. Not every brand, right?
Yeah.
Some brands can leverage negative marketing and still grow.
So yeah, you talked about business and entrepreneurs, right? So what sales strategy do you recommend for entrepreneurs building their business from the ground up? What should be their strategy?
Keep creating values that people can't forget. Create experiences, no matter what your product or services are, doesn't matter. Create experiences so that people can't forget. They can forget your name, but they should not forget that, oh my God, they are the best. And they should come hunting for you. They should come looking for you. So from ground up, the problem is nobody invests in that. Everybody's like, I want quick access. I need more funds. I will have, brute marketing force. I will flourish everywhere. I will have a, big banner everywhere standing up. All these things, every event, everybody. That's not how it works, right? You have to make sure that you are creating value. Every entrepreneur, this is my first advice, is that first of all, make sure that you are creating genuine value for people that you are connecting with. And if you do that, that creates a rock solid foundation for your business. When that happens, nobody can take that away from you, not even down market size. Customers and employees, they both stay with brands, even the worst of times. Now, otherwise, your brand will just be another commodity and they will leave you.
Yeah. So we build great value. What after that?
They will keep coming to you. You don't have to sell. Remember, I told you in the first aspect, the best way of selling is that you don't have to sell. Like, what I mean by that is that even without selling, you have closed them.
You create a value, you sell it, people realize it's a good stuff, then they
They'll
come
keep
back.
coming for it. They will keep coming back for it. You don't have to keep telling them, hey, listen, come, come, come. They're like, I want. Do you have it? They will come and inquire. But nobody wants to invest in that value because it takes time
But sometimes we
to build
do
that
see
value.
that, yeah, but sometimes we do see that companies create a good value, but people are buying the product which is advertised more. They know about it more. So
Of
the
course.
brands who have created a great value product, they're not getting sold. So
Of
what would
course.
so
You know,
how to deal with it? What to
see,
do in that kind of situation?
there is a term in Hindi that we call it, jo dikta hai, wo bikta hai,
Yeah,
right? So whatever is seen is sold. So this is business 101. It is not about just creating value, right? If they're creating value, they needs to be seen in the market. If they're not seen, then what's the point of having that value if your customers only don't know you? And who are you creating value for? Right? If you have 10 customers and they're very happy, that's not it, right? You want to have maybe 1,000 or 1 million customers. right? So you have to show up. So show the customers that you're creating value, expand your value base, then they will come to you. So you have to show up. You have to be seen because there are too many companies, too many brands, too many confusions. Like one product is sold by 20 brands.
Yeah.
No?
Clothes.
So who do you buy from? The one that you see and the one kind of outlets you have next to your home and the one that is in your fingertips. You buy those things first.
And one which is affordable and it's a good. Like in
Yes.
case of Zudio.
Zudio, and that's an offline store, right? What I would say, the Misho is one of the very classic examples of that. These
Online.
people
Yeah.
are selling crazy. Women are crazy about Misho. Just ask them about Misho. They would know, and they will have an account, and you will see at least 50 items in their cart already.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how they have done their job right. Right? They have made it accessible, and they have replacement value too. Like for example, if it doesn't suit you, instead you can get it back to them. You can exchange that. So they have this kind of offers a lot, right? So they're continuously getting value. If you don't like it, no worries. We'll replace it for you. Tell us what's your problem, right? So continuously, you have to show up. Now imagine they did all these things, but nobody knew about it. What's the point? They
And
had all these great offers, but there is no app.
yeah. And you don't have to stop even people know you, right? Even Apple still advertise.
Oh yes, they are the most stealth advertisers of that. They and Tesla.
Uh, I have not seen any Tesla advertise. I think
Tesla don't advertise. Elon Musk does.
yeah, he
Elon,
is the face of
Elon Musk
Tesla,
is
right?
exactly. Elon Musk is Tesla. Whatever he
Yeah.
does, and he tells people not to invest in Tesla. That itself is an advertising.
Yeah, that's called negative marketing, I guess.
So
I remember one of his tweet when he said the Tesla stock price are too high.
yeah,
Yeah, the stock price went down, but the advertisement was boom. People knew about Tesla.
exactly. And even when the market went down, people started talking about Tesla more, right? Oh, Tesla crashed. Like, oh my god! And now everywhere it went viral. Tesla crashed.
Yeah,
Oh, people are losing money. Oh, no, advertising, right? So again, but again, people who are seasoned investors, they will simply put in more money when the market is down, and they will wait because they know that Tesla will pick up again, and they will make billions and billions out of it. So everybody wins,
yeah,
except the middle class investors. They lose the money.
yeah. What do they lag like in middle class investor? What do they lag? What do you think?
Knowledge, financial knowledge, patience, understanding how the market works, and insecurity
I
because
think
they
that's
play
the biggest thing.
because they play with their hard-earned money. They don't have access, right?
Yeah,
They're putting in their bread and butter money in that, so they're always scared. They're always on their toes. That oh my god, if I put my 10,000 in this, if it doesn't work, if it doesn't become 15, I'm dead. I have to pay my credit card bill, which is 20,000. At least 15 will come back. And if that 10 becomes 7, they're already ripping off their hair. They're trying to sell it off so that they don't suffer for the losses, right? But a seasoned investor will like, I don't care, it's 7. I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna hold. Right. 1 month, no problem. 2 months, no issues. 1 year, fine, I will hold. The 7 will become 17. 70 eventually in 3 years, it may get a jump to 70. Now, if you are a profit making person, you might quickly sell in that opportunity and not wait for the downturn and make a huge profit. And now you can have not only your credit card bills done, but you have surplus for yourself. Right. The point is, they lack all these aspects. But the entire market works in panic. No? When they see that bar going down, people get wet
yeah,
just by that because they don't know how to deal with it. It's extreme pressure. They feel they're going to lose their entire way of living. And then they do trading when they don't have knowledge. So I
I mean,
never recommend that. That's gambling.
I'm a victim
Forex,
of that. Yeah, I when I
Forex,
started.
one intraday tradings. See, I'm not saying they are not a good business. They are business, but that's gambling. That's gambling. I mean, even if people go to casinos, right? They're still there. I always recommend share market, stock markets never take away money from people if you go long terms. But no, people have to be greedy. They want to make quick money. And then they'll blame the market. Oh, market always wins. No, market doesn't win. You can win. You just have to be like, just keep the money and forget about it. But keep the money in the right place, of course,
Yeah.
not in the shady stock, of course. It has to be in the right place. And when you put it there, forget that thing. Don't bother. Don't keep checking every single day what's going up, what's going down. Put the money for 10 years and forget about it. 10
Yeah, I
years back, you
think
would be like, oh my God, what is this? Whose account is this?
I remember. I know just exact investment. I think it was by Rakesh Jhunjhunwala when he bought a share which was worth ₹3, and
Exactly.
that share went, poor man. I think he earned 1,700 crores, right? Which share was that? I don't remember it, but
Because, yeah, you shared that. It came on the newspaper when you were shared this. Yes. So, patience. That's what it is. Even Warren Buffett said, like, how when they asked, how did you make so much money? I started early.
yeah, and just be
That was
patient.
his audience. And he's being truthful. He's not lying.
Yeah, yeah,
Right? People, but, he may be not sharing the truth. We have to, but like, if you start at 35, sorry, you are late. If you want to just make money only with stock market, then you are late. But still, you can make good money. You just have to play it in the right way. Stop doing intra trades. Stop doing forex. Stop doing all these, option trading.
future and options.
Oh God, people are so, and there are all these option trading gurus on social media nowadays showing
Yeah,
off their Ferraris and they're all of, they're not showing how much money they are losing.
yeah.
They are losing this much, they're winning this much, and they're showing off that.
Yeah. Do you know about the case? I'm not going to take the name, but he used to sell courses. He was a trader. He made a lot of money. Then SEBI released his statement and he was in loss of 2 crores.
I think I've heard about this. I'm forgetting.
Something name of charts, Father.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I knew about, like, yeah, this is how they make money. They don't make money by trading. They make money by selling products. Yeah. Even if you,
Exactly.
it's a hard truth. If you can't swallow it, I'm sorry, you just close the podcast. But this is the truth. They don't
True.
make money by trading. They make money by selling courses.
Absolutely. And you have to be clear about those things, otherwise it will not work.
If they're already making that much money, which they show, then I don't think they need to charge or make this much of courses and to sell it, make advertisement, all of this stuff. That's all.
See,
And people,
there are so many trainers and coaches in India who are making so much money. They show off their wealth. Like, I am making 30 crores, 40 crores, I have Ferraris, Bugattis, whatever. Like, if you have so much of money, why don't you give it away to free for people if you really care so much,
yeah,
right? No, no, no. Because they are making money out of people. The people who
yeah,
are doing business with them, they're not making much money. But
yeah.
the people
I
who are
have, I
helping, they're making more
I
money.
have seen reels, in which they say that there are 8 billion people in the world. There are 1.4 billion people in India. You have just have to sell 500 products to 500 people at the cost of this, and you will make this much money.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not good, obviously.
That's see again. You're making money out of the money of those people. Now, if that person is already making, if you are want to make 10 crores and you're selling 10 crore people, 1 rupee each, what if that person's earning itself is 1 rupee per day?
Yeah,
You took away their 1 days of work entirely. Right? So, uh, again, unethical selling.
and you'll
Uh,
get the product for the one time. You'll get the uh, sales for
that's
the
it.
one time. You'll get the
But
dish for
there's
the
no
one time.
guarantee. There's no guarantee that it will work for you.
Yeah,
That's what
even
it is.
yeah, there's a lot of risk. There's risk of reputation and all that stuff.
Right.
So, what's the best financial advice you ever received?
Financial advice. Uh, Invest in assets. And the second point is, don't forget the first rule.
Invest in assets and invest in yourself.
That's it.
I think that would be the first.
It's very important because most people, they think they know what assets are.
Yeah. So
I've seen people who are making 10, 20 lakhs rupees a month as a salary. They own like Audis and Benz and all these cars that they have. I'm like, okay, fine, you're making a lot of money. That's great, man. But with that money, if you could just simply put it in a stock or bonds or like, you will be like, you can buy a freaking penthouse instead of living in a tiny little apartment, right? But no, they have to show off that part. Like, I have a Benz, I have a Audi,
And
I
that
have
showing off
this.
is getting them customers, I
The
guess.
the problem no, the problem is this. Vaibhav, is that people, they think that being rich is showing off their cars. But they don't understand is the real rich people. Like, for example, let's take Ambani's case. He has so many cars that you can't even think of, and most of them are Rolls Royce. That is that money that he has invested in all these cars. He can use it as a toilet paper, and it will still not make any difference to him.
Yeah.
That's the money for him. You know, Ambani's wedding is called the poorest wedding of all,
Yeah,
despite what we have seen. You know why?
I know. I know.
Because that was his 0.05%
Yeah.
of his wealth. And people spend 80, 90, or 100% plus of their wealth on their weddings. That's smart business. With 0.05%, he shook the world.
Yeah. And I
And
think that
people take loans for weddings.
and I think that wedding was more of an business opportunity because you have
Oh, yeah,
all the people coming from the world.
absolutely. It
Yeah.
was a more business deal than just a wedding. So,
Yeah. I know your book is coming, right? I'm waiting for it to send me the copy, but one book everyone should read about money. Tell me that.
oh,
We all know that
I
one
would
book.
recommend the Psychology of Money. I have that book as well.
Yeah, that book is great. What about Rich Dad and Poor Dad? Rich Dad and Poor Dad.
Rich Dad and Poor Dad is a great book for people who are okay to bore themselves to death, but it's extremely valuable. That has been the foundation.
And the
That
psychology
has
of
been the
money is
foundation.
there.
I read my Rich Dad Poor Dad when I was very young. Very young. I remember that. That was my first ever book in out of my syllabus aspect. Rich and Poor Dad. I didn't understand it then that much,
Hmm.
but when I read it later on multiple times, then I came to know about that. So, Rich Dad
So,
and Poor Dad is the book to read, and Psychology of Money.
so, I'm 20 years old, right? There are a lot of viewers. My friends are also 20 years old in the college. What should be the roadmap for them to start investing? And if they are aiming to make a lot of money in sales or something, what's the roadmap for them? Just like
Can I tell you honestly?
yeah,
Before you invest in anything, get
invest in
your
yourself.
mindset right.
Yeah, okay.
Not just invest in yourself. You can invest in yourself for learning sales, investment, accounting, etc., etc. I'm specifically telling you, you need to get your mindset right. If that is not in the right space, you can invest as much as you want, no results. A lot of suffering, a lot of critical challenges will come into your life. If the mindset is right, you
So,
can achieve anything you want.
what should be the mindset?
The mindset has to be, see, the thing is, for every person, it's different. The mindset has to be in the sense you have to actualize your full potential with your brain, but not everybody's potential is the same. For you, it is different. For your friend, it could be different. For your brother, it would be different, right? For your colleagues who are ranking top in your college, it will be different. Doesn't mean just because they are ranking top, they will do succeed in life excellently well. Not compulsory. They may not. Very much depends on the mindset. I've seen a lot of rock stars in schools and colleges who have rocked aced their exams. And when it came to real life,
Yeah.
they were nowhere,
It
unfortunately.
just, yeah, you have to be street smart too, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So again, I would say invest in yourself in a way where you can unlock your full potential, mental potential. Physical potential you can harness through going to gym or stretching yourself, but mental potential is very important.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to every youngster, please work on your mindset before you put in your money, before you decide what your career should be, before you want to choose a career path, academics or job or whatever it is. Get your mindset right. What I mean by that is you need to have a clearer vision. You need to know your purpose. You need to know how to achieve it, and you should be 1000% confident about it. That's the kind of clarity you should have. And you should be able to feel that this is where you belong. Not because somebody told you, but this is what you feel from within.
Yeah.
Very important. But nobody invests in this way. That's the problem. If I tell you a book to read about sales, 10 people will buy that book right now. And when I tell about mindset, my mindset is good, yeah. I don't need some
And
stuff.
that is the most important factor.
That is the most important fact.
Yeah, getting a mindset right. Yeah.
Without that, there is the foundation. What are you going to read on? Sales, marketing, accounting, engineering, everything on this. This is what is your mindset.